I'm in northern Israel, on the campus of an educational foundation called Givat Chaviva. Here and in nearby towns, I've been seeing a remarkable and important program aimed at developing understanding among the citizens of Israel. The story you're about to see grew out of this program. It's a small triumph with great potential. Over the years, we have heard a lot about planting trees in Israel, about putting down seeds for the future. In this short film, you'll see a seed which has been planted, one that I hope will grow to benefit all the people of Israel.
My name is Hagar Baruch. I love to travel and I love adventures. I've been in Canada and United States. I love to dance.
Hagar is 15 years old and Jewish. She lives with her family in the northern Israeli town of Afula. Hagar is a typical Israeli teenager. She attends a Jewish middle school here, and much of her life is focused on the friends in her neighborhood. Today, however, she's going to visit a friend in the neighboring town of El Fahim. Although it's only a short bus ride away, the trip is one that few Jewish Israelis would make.
My name is Riyal Ibrahim. I have 6 brothers, not sisters. I live in Arab town, Fahim. Fahim is 30,000 people. No Jewish live in Fahim.
Furiel is also 15, but she is an Israeli Arab living in an Arab town. In Israel, this difference makes her friendship with Hagar an extraordinary occurrence.
In the bus, I meet many Arabs. I even sit near Arabs. We are just sit and do nothing. They don't bother me and I don't bother them. Sometimes I looked at them and I see that they are people like me, but I never talk with them.
In Israel, Jews and Arabs seldom socialize with each other. They may encounter one another on the street or in workplaces, but they rarely come together as friends or equals. Most Arabs live in villages where Jews do not travel. Their children attend schools which are separate from those of Jewish children. Arabs are 1/6 of Israel's total population, over 700,000 people. They are Israeli citizens, they pay taxes, and vote in the country's local and national elections. And yet, they maintain an existence separate from the country's Jewish population. Given Israel's special history, this separation is understandable, yet it threatens the democratic foundation on which the country was founded. In Israel's Declaration of Independence, all citizens are guaranteed equal protection, equal rights, and equal freedoms. During the mid-1980s, there was an explosive tension building between Israel's Jews and Arabs. The separation between them, in place since Israel's founding, was now causing upheavals throughout the country. In Israel, Children grow up listening to nightmarish stories about Arabs or Jews, watching violence on television and bearing witness to relentless strife. They end up feeling only fear and hatred for one another. And because the children never interact, they have no reason to feel otherwise. Under these volatile conditions, workers at Givat Haviva developed a radical program to promote change. They would bring together young Arabs and Jews face to face and help them confront each other's fears, strengths, and weaknesses. Founded by the Kibbutz Artsy Federation in 1949, shortly after the establishment of the State of Israel, Givat Haviva was originally named after Haviva Reich, a young kibbutznik who lost her life in the fight against Nazism. 40,000 people come each year to the 50-acre campus in northern Israel. There is a Center for Peace Research and Conflict Resolution, which draws Arab and Jewish leaders from all over Israel. At the Art Center, Jewish and Arab artists study and create side by side. At the Center for Arabic Studies, Jewish students can spend a year learning Arabic and Arab culture. New immigrants are offered an introductory class on life in Israeli society, which is taught by both Arabs and Jews. And there are world-renowned archives for Jewish and Arab documents, open to scholars for general study. Givat Haviva's Institute for Arabic Studies is equally staffed, half Jew, half Arab, in order to encourage Arab and Jewish communities to participate freely in the programs without fear of bias or condescension. The culmination of the Institute's efforts to help young Israelis was children teaching children.
I can maybe define the main goal in a sentence which is better said in Hebrew rather than in English, but I'll say it in a minute in English, and that is להכיר את ולהכיר ב. Namely, to get to know each other and to recognize in each other, in the legitimacy of the other, that he's got a place just like yourself, and to try and work out how this is going to happen. Yes? So what we do, we try and make children and their teachers alike meet each other, get to know each other, really listen to each other, see the reality more or less in the other person's eyes, so as to see, to experience what he's experienced or she, and then finding a place in your heart, in your country, in your politics or whatever, also for the other. The project works basically by approaching two classes in neighboring schools, Arab and Jewish school. The idea is that eventually, after a preparation period, they meet each other once in a fortnight. Once in a fortnight, the Jews go to the Arab school, and vice versa, once in a fortnight is done by the Arabs. In between, they're staying in their home classes, processing what happened, how they feel about it, and preparing the next meeting.
Amongst the first students in local schools to be asked to participate in Children Teaching Children were Hagar and Furiel.
At the beginning, I was scared and my parents were scared. And the teacher explained us what we are going to do in the project. And but after they said, we are going to meet the Arabs in Fahem, everyone said in my class, no, I don't want to be in this project. I hate Arabs. I just hate them because they hurt my my people, and that's the reason I hate them.
My teacher came and asked, what do you think about this project? I said, I hate the Jewish. I didn't want to join in this project.
Hagar and Furiel's reaction to the proposed meetings between their classes is typical and indicates the depth of the tension between the two communities.
Hagar.
But in Furiel and Hagar's case, the students and teachers overcame their objections and began working together.
The other thing that is important to realize is it is not just the children who are involved in this process, but their teachers. They come to meet each other and make themselves a team, and they meet once in a fortnight also.
The first encounters between the two classes are designed to confront basic communication problems. Each student starts out with a language barrier, in addition to their cultural and emotional differences. It's the teacher's task to encourage the children to interact. This often takes the form of simple games at first and evolves into more serious projects. Here the students pair up, Arab and Jew together. They're given language exercises with which they literally teach each other. To broaden the students' interactions with one another, Givat Haviva incorporates field trips and special play days into their program. Recently, a large group of children had a picnic in El-Fahim, the Arab town in which Furiel lives. And in the summer of 1991, another group traveled together to Spain. Given the level of mistrust with which the students begin the Children Teaching Children program, their outings together are impressive. These activities demonstrate that it's possible for children to relate to one another given the opportunity.
Our main concern is not to say that there's no conflict. Our main concern is to bring the conflict into our lives, but in a more balanced way, in a more complex way, in a way that the children and the teachers can handle it, can confront it, can look at it from various points of view. We don't try and say to the children there's no problem, that there are no problems. We say there are problems, but maybe we can handle them. Maybe we can try and do something about them. Each one in his own way, but in a more rational way, only once we sort of worked out our feelings about it.
Givat Haviva works with over 1,000 students a year in Children Teaching Children. Like Hagar and Furiel, these students started the program with classroom meetings and studies in their own schools. Now they meet together twice a month over 1 or 2 school years.
One of the benefits of this program, which somehow we didn't realize at the beginning, is the effect that it has on children and their teachers, regardless of the Arab-Jewish conflict or relationship. Both children and the teachers becomes what we call in Hebrew the opposite of Rosh Katan, that is small-minded. They become very involved, very active, both in school life and the general social life of the school and sometimes of the community. More open, more asking, more concerned, if you want, better citizens.
By encouraging a free and open dialogue between historical adversaries, Children Teaching Children is fostering an atmosphere of democracy among its participants. Closed school systems and communities are beginning to open up, just as the students and the teachers do. This is a side benefit of the program, which wasn't anticipated by Givat Haviva's staff. The program is most effective because of its intimate one-to-one approach, but the process can be arduous and frustrating.
Sometimes I don't know why I'm doing it, but especially at the end of the day, when I'm tired, when I'm frustrated, when I see things around me, when I see what we do, and I see the general context in which we live. But if I really have to answer it, I can answer it in many ways, but I'll try to say it shortly because I'm Jewish, and because of my heritage, and because I've learned what happened to my people in the past, and I cannot be a Jew in Israel while I know that there's another people who hasn't got the same right as me. And this is something which is very deep in me, because this whole conflict is going under somewhat similar conditions that my parents felt when they were in Poland.
Hagar and Furiel have graduated the Givat Haviva program, but they stay in touch. They know they disagree on many important issues, but their friendship is stronger than what separates them.
The most important things that I got in this Haviva project, that I learned to know the other side. Before Givat Haviva project, I knew only the Jewish side. Now I learned the Arab side.
In Israel, that's a problem because between the two peoples in this land didn't understand one another, like I and Hagar.
We are two human beings. The only thing that between us that she is Arab and I'm Jewish.
I want to continue in this project. This project is very, very important for me. We must to make things from this project.
My opinions after this project changed about Arabs. And now I'm just a child. I don't know what I can to do, but maybe in my future I will do something that will change the situation between the Arabs and the Jewish.
Givat Haviva's philosophy is that peace can only be achieved when Jews and Arabs can understand each other. Young Israelis like Hagar and Furiel were given the tools to develop that understanding, and friendships like theirs, which seem so insignificant, may ultimately be the key to Israel's future.